1, 2, 3, 4.
You're listening to 5 Gears.
Well, apparently Phil Collins is a little butthurt over some things that Paul McCartney had kind of said to him. They both met in, I believe it was London at one point, and Heather Mills was with Paul
Buckingham
McCartney.
Palace.
Buckingham Palace.
Yeah.
Heather Mills, who I believe was McCartney's wife at the time, right? They walked up, and Phil Collins had a book. He had a Beatles book. And he walked up and he asked Paul McCartney to sign the Beatles book. Mm-hmm. And Paul McCartney was like, "Oh, Phil, he's a bit of a Beatles fan, isn't he?"
Yeah, well, I call him Little Phil, too.
Little
I think.
Phil.
The little, I think. The little probably,
Short guys don't like that shit.
Yeah.
No. So I guess Phil Collins got a little uptight with that.
Yeah, he was saying, you fuck, you fuck. You fuck. So,
And he's been holding this grudge since like the early 2000s.
Yeah, he's really hung on to it. Well, let me first say, fuck Phil Collins and fuck Genesis. I hate them. They ruined the 80s. That's when I was in my 20s, and I had to hear them all the time. They ruined it for me, so screw you, Phil Collins. That's the first thing I want to say.
I don't care anymore.
And then they asked Paul later about the feud, I guess, and Paul should have said Phil who. I mean, I think that's what he should have said. Phil who. What is Phil even bitching? Paul McCartney knew his name.
Right.
All right? If Paul McCartney knows my name, he can do anything he wants with it. I don't care if he calls me Little Stevie. He can call me Little Stevie all he wants. That's my dick's name, but he can call me that. All right? I mean, what's Phil Collins even bitching? When Phil Collins came up to him, he should have said, "Will you get my coat and bring the car around?" Anything to keep him from playing music. All right? I mean, holy shit.
This one strikes a nerve with you, doesn't
plus,
it?
Paul is a knight. That's Sir Paul McCartney. Phil Collins has no business talking to a knight, right? Paul should have gone up to the Queen, and he should have said, "Look, Liz, do you mind if I call you Liz? This guy's an asshole. Let's put him in the Tower of London and play Genesis records until he jumps." All right? That's how I feel about Phil Collins being butthurt. Yeah, but Phil claimed he was trying to let Paul know that his attitude could have been better, and Paul should have let Phil know that his music couldn't get much worse.
So in other words, you're not lining up to get a ticket to the Not Dead Yet tour that Phil Collins is putting together.
God, no. I would not go within 100 miles of Genesis Phil Collins.
Well, at this point, the tour is only in Europe and the UK. So
Paul McCartney could write a better song taking a dump than Phil Collins could write in 6 months of work. All right. I mean,
I'm going to find another Phil Collins story because I like watching you sweat.
I know, you get so angry.
Is there a blood vessel popping out of my forehead? I feel like there should be.
Kind of.
Yeah.
On the side there.
I'm going to let you relish in the moment a little bit.
Yes, yeah. Savor, savor, savor.
We're going to play a little bit of music.
Don't play any Genesis, goddammit.
He will cut you.
We're going to play some tunes here while Steve relishes in the moment here. This is the 5 Gear Show here on PodcastDetroit.com. JB, Steve, and Jess bringing you meat from the Mitten State every Thursday night at 7 o'clock.
5 Gears.